Riveting content. Empowering your life. Welcome to the Sphere. This episode is sponsored by Houston Housewives of Finance. For more information on increasing your cash flow, becoming your own money manager, and to schedule your complimentary personal finance strategy, contact the Houston Housewives of Finance today at 1-844-700-4463. Elite Dental Wellness. At Elite Dental Wellness, Dr. Ashandra Batiste understands that one of the biggest obstacles is dental fear. The vision at Elite Dental Wellness is to ensure every patient is treated with respect, ultimate care, patience, and love. Call us today to make an appointment at area code 713-789-8680. Looking to advertise? Join the Sphere's vast demographic reach of thousands of people all over the world. Send an email today to advertise@thesphere.tv or call us at area code 832-772-7789.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Sphere, the show that endeavors to bring you riveting content and invoke and excite and inspire. My name is Kira Laws, and you can follow me at Instagram at The Modern Day Cindy, and this is my beautiful co-host.
Hello, everybody. Hi, my name is Allison Bullock. Of course, you know you can follow me on Instagram at Miranda Inc. Also, we want to give a shout out to our amazing Facebook Live viewers. Keep in mind, we're only going to be here for 15 minutes. So make sure that you subscribe to our show, review, share, donate. So we've got a couple of great announcements, one in particular.
Well, there's great things happening over here at The Sphere. I don't know. You probably don't notice a big change, but there's a huge change happening. We're standing in the middle of our new studio. The Sphere has a new studio. It's amazing.
It
y'all.
is amazing.
So our
Seriously.
space has like doubled. And now you see us with these white walls. They might not be white for much longer, but I like it. It gives me light. It's crisp.
It's a crisp look. And we so have the red cups.
But no, it's not.
But like,
this is a
so
celebratory.
Not that red cup.
Yeah, it's the red cup.
It's like the new stylish red cup.
It's the red cup that has no alcohol in it, y'all.
It's like the red bottom of red cups.
It's the red.
It's the red
It's
bottom
a bloody cup.
It's
Oh, you like that?
with the Cardi
It's
B.
a Bodak red cup.
Y'all, that was so big. So if you are not
This
a
is
follower
bloody
of our
cups,
show,
y'all.
that was so huge. That Kira
bloody
just said
cup.
that made my soul happy.
Y'all had to tune in
Y'all
a couple
had
of
to
weeks
tune
ago
in
we had
for the last show, Dash,
a
aka her
big-
birthday show.
Yeah, it was a big thing
was
about
a
me
really,
and
really
about
good
that
thing.
Bodak yellow. But let me tell you something. Shout out.
Shout out. So
This
literally,
here,
cheers to the Sphere.
Cheers to the Sphere,
Cheers
because we
to
have
the
a new
Sphere.
studio, y'all, and it's amazing. Now we can host a lot of people here.
Seriously.
We have rooms that we can record multiple times a day. It's amazing. See what you can do when you keep working that thing.
And shout out
Thank-
to Miss Baptiste. Is that from the docs?
From the docs.
From
What
the
up,
docs.
though?
Hey, hey.
Hey, what up, though?
So we
we're
just-
here, y'all. We're here.
We are here, and we just had to give you guys, that really kind of robust introduction.
Because it's important.
Because it's important, and y'all, a lot's been going on. So we didn't have a show on last Monday because we had a special show
We had
on
a special
Saturday.
show, and it was
Friday.
or
It was
Saturday.
it was on Friday.
before
thank you.
Black Heritage
Before
Festival.
Black Heritage Festival, which actually went really well. But since we have been, we didn't take a vacation because clearly a lot's been going on.
No,
in the
we're
news.
never on break, you guys. It's
Never.
we just had to take a little, we had to catch up on a lot of news. And
Seriously.
so many things have happened. So we know that last week we had a lot of shocking things that occurred.
Man.
Of course, we had Las Vegas that occurred. We had more of the Kaepernick things and
Jeez.
kneeling. We had some things that happened with Cam Newton. And we're just going to jump right in to talk
Let's
about
go.
our president, our commander-in-chief. Of course, he's always in the media because he seems to always get, I guess, tongue-tied. His words never seem to come out pleasing to many people. So one of the things that he said while he was being interviewed recently was that he thought the Las Vegas gunman was probably a smart guy, but he also, in the same conversation, he called the San Juan mayor not very capable. Now,
Again, it's that double-minded. Just
and I don't even know if you call this double-minded. It's more of like, it's one of those things. He doesn't censor himself. So he doesn't censor himself, and it becomes a situation where you have to start wondering, like, do you realize what you're saying? Because I get what you're saying. When you call somebody smart, you're saying it's smart because it was ingenious for someone to come up with that idea to do what he did. But it was terrible. It was deadly, and it was horrible, right? But it wasn't.
Especially
it wasn't
saying that comment as the president of the United States.
As the president, you have to be very careful because that was followed up by a negative comment to a woman who's trying to save her country. I mean, her land, right?
Yeah.
And so it really just came across really insensitive and derogatory. I don't know about you, but I'm just kind of like, we have to stop this negative news cycle.
We've said it show after show after show. People have to be very conscious of what comes out of their mouth, especially when you are in front of the camera. They say words don't hurt, but y'all, words can be very everlasting.
No, words hurt. Absolutely
and
hurt.
You see
I
what
think
I'm
that's
saying?
The biggest lie.
And especially the way society is, and with all the different tragedies that's happened out that have popped up out of the blue, from natural disasters to just what happened in Las Vegas, people are I'm not going to say they're on edge, but you've got to be very sensitive about what you say. Like, you can't just fly out the seat of your pants with what you say.
Well, speaking of what you say, and another thing that we saw in the news cycle last week, which I thought was very interesting, is how we color what happens to people on certain ethnic groups and backgrounds. And I know specifically with the Las Vegas gunman, he was colored as a person who liked to gamble, and he recreational retired man. But he was never colored as somebody who people should fear. He was colored in this is the guy down the street around the corner. And I wonder what's going on in our community now, in our society, right? And because I believe that if this could have been anyone else, I think we would have heard every negative story about this man ever in his life. It would have came up.
So I really want to say, I'm going to be really careful with my words. Kira, you did an amazing job by saying, because y'all know
I'm Bodak red cup.
It's the red cup, you guys, and it's non-alcoholic. Just
really
FYI, it really is. It's like sparkling cider, seriously. So I remember seeing the same interview about 8 or 9 times, and it was an interview with his brother, the gunman's brother.
Yes,
and the gunman's brother was like, I don't know what's going on. That's not my brother. My brother is this. He
bakes his mom cookies.
He bakes his mom cookies, and I just always saw gunmen.
Right.
That's it. I saw the gunman in Las Vegas. I didn't hear terrorist. I think that was one snippet, but that went away really quickly.
It
was because of ISIS, but that was only one story, and that was when it first happened. And then it was like, oh no, it's not ISIS related. This was just a gunman in Vegas that shot a lot of people. And you sit back, and I'm not gonna point out one story, but if you kind of think back over the last couple of weeks, there's been people that have been called worse things.
Absolutely.
And they have not killed.
For doing less,
and who have not killed a massive amount of people for reasons that they still don't know. Let's be clear now. We know the news literally is second by second. The death toll went up. That's something that we really don't want to hear. But yet all you hear about this guy is that he's a good guy, but they don't know what happened. He was a gunman, killed a lot of people, but we don't know the cause.
And let's just say this. Let's wrap up on this one.
Yeah.
The one thing we didn't hear him call is a SOB, and with that, it just makes you. It just kind of draws light into the community and the society that we live in right now, because we have become very sensitive to calling some people names and not others, and it shows you where the line is being drawn.
There's a division.
There is a division.
A distinct division. Let's be clear.
We have to be really careful with that. And so that brings me to the Kobe Bryant story, right?
Good job.
So Kobe Bryant is talking about if he was still playing in the NBA, he would kneel, even though the NBA has already made it a point that if anyone kneels during the anthem, they will be fined. He was like, it's worth the money for him, because he's like, I have the money. So for him, it's like, I'm a position of power and influence. If I kneel and they fine me every time, that's fine. I'll take the fine because I'm kneeling for a cause. You see this now, mind you, Kobe Bryant, he's a major basketball player. He was known for years for being like this dynamic guy. And, now that he's not there anymore, I don't necessarily think I think he would have been this person if he was still playing, for sure.
For sure.
But I think now that he knows his level of influence and power, he's like, no, this is not right. He's not, because I think sometimes people think, well, if you have money, you shouldn't be. You're insulated from this.
It's
This
like,
doesn't affect
no.
you, and it really
LeBron
doesn't.
James made that very clear.
He's like, no, I'm
and
still
during a press conference.
Yeah, I'm me all day.
Like, I can't change this.
Right, this I can't.
This
change.
I can't change.
And for that, I think people are getting the message confused. It's not about disrespecting an anthem. It's not about, and I know we've said this several times. We keep saying it. It's not disrespecting the anthem. It's not disrespecting the flag. It's not disrespecting military. We've seen many military veterans come out and kneel, right? Show pictures of kneeling. This is more about calling attention to what that anthem means for everybody and the injustice that's happening in the world. It's not actually a disrespect. It's actually a call to action. And so I think what needs to happen is people need to take a different approach to it and perspective. Okay, like people are talking about people being killed, by the hands of persons that are, supposed to protect. And so not that it's a call out, it's more of like, pay attention. If this only happened to designated groups of people, there's something, terribly wrong with this. And it is upon us as Americans to take note of that. It is upon us to call Constitution, like what I'm calling Constitution. Like, we need to start protecting the rights of everybody. And then I see, and like I saw that yesterday in a game, at a Lakers game, actually, a woman throws a drink at another fan because the fan wouldn't stand during the national anthem. I'm like, this is getting too, like, this is now, y'all, did I get freedom of speech, freedom of press, freedom, all of that. I believe in all of that. But when one person throws a drink at another person because they believe the other person should stand at a game, I'm sorry. That incites violence.
That's disrespectful.
It's disrespectful.
That's disrespectful.
You're not going to force
and
me
then
to
you
do
get mad when somebody retaliates.
And then it becomes a us against them thing. And it's not a us against them. And people are real. I mean, this picture is starting to become painted over and over again. It's not us against them, me against you. This is not what it is. People will have the right to not stand. This person could have been not standing for a lot of reasons. We don't know what the conversation was, but you have your rights, right?
You definitely have your rights. And on a lighter note, we also definitely have to give a shout out to the people who we absolutely love. This portion of the show was sponsored by the one and only Houston Housewives of Finance. Did you know that only 4 states in the United States offer financial education? 33% or more than 77 million of Americans do not pay their bills on time. 39% of Americans carry credit card debt from month to month. And 39% of adults say they do not have enough in their savings. Do not become one of these statistics. Let Houston Housewives of Finance advise you on increasing your cash flow and becoming your own money manager by scheduling a complimentary personal financial strategy. Contact Houston Housewives of Finance today at 1-844-700-4463 or email them at info@houstonhousewivesoffinance.com. Ask how you can participate in a complimentary financial literacy workshop near you. Houston Housewives of Finance are the new face of the new age of financial services. Shout out to Houston Housewives of Finance, you guys. They are absolutely amazing.
Get your money and stuff in order.
Get your
holla at them. Like,
instead of getting your life in order, get your finances. Get your finances in order.
Talk to somebody.
And you guys, these are reliable, good, solid people.
These people are solid. These are solid people.
And it's a discussion like we talk about on Society Now. It's a discussion that you need to have. You need
even if you're by yourself with yourself. You need to talk
about
yourself.
You need
money
to
matters
because
with
most
yourself.
people are like, and I forgot what commercial I heard, but they were like, some people just act like bills are going to go away. Certain things you need to have a strategy to attack. Whether you have
bills aren't the boogeyman.
Bills are not the boogeyman. So
why are we
on
whatever
level you are,
sheets?
contact Houston Housewives of Finance and make sure that you get in contact with them.
That is so funny. Now, okay, let me tell you what else is happening.
Let's go for it.
Okay, so recently Hillary Clinton was invited on to a late night show, and on the late night show they were like, we have a lot of people from our show, a lot of women writers and producers of the show wanted to actually tell her thank you, so they wrote her little thank you notes. Well, one of the guests on the show was Miley Cyrus, and she wrote a note as well, but while she was writing her note she started crying, and she was like, you don't understand what you did for me, for us as women. Now, I thought about this from a different perspective. I was like, yes, it's what she did. I was like, but it's also what she's doing, for the future, because it takes a lot for we've never seen in history a woman get that far.
Yeah.
Regardless of if she was supposed to win or not.
Yeah.
And definitely, she actually did open up a door.
Yeah.
She showed us what needs to be done. She showed us how to do it.
Yeah.
Or she was very transparent, I believe, in her book about some of the things she wished she would have done differently in her career, in her life. I think it's important when you look at it from that perspective. You need that type of vulnerability from someone in a leadership position to talk about their travel and their journey, so that door is open for the next person to go, not just as far as she went, but past and surpass that to get to that actual, whatever that goal they're trying to achieve. So I think that was amazing. So this portion of the show,
Every time she does this, you guys, the smile is like as big as the room. Every time.
This portion of the show is sponsored by Elite Dental Wellness. At Elite Dental Wellness, our vision is to create a welcoming practice that will offer exceptional dental care and a lifetime of dental wellness. We are committed to the finest possible oral care and the overall health and well-being of our patients. Elite Dental Wellness is built upon a foundation of integrity, expertise, and service. Through our commitment to modern dentistry, continuing education, and a friendly atmosphere, we strive to make our patients feel that they are a part of our family. Dentistry can be scary, daunting, and uncomfortable. Dr. Baptiste and her team work tirelessly to ensure your comfort. Make your appointment today with Dr. Ashandra Baptiste at Elite Dental Wellness at 713-789-8680. Again, the number is 713-789-8680. Go see Dr. Ashandra Baptiste, y'all. Now, I'm telling you, listen, these smiles are so amazing. I think it's important that you take care of your teeth. Take care of your smile. Do you know if you don't take care of your oral hygiene, it can affect your heart? Did you know that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
I
y'all need to
did.
go see a dentist.
You guys please go see Dr. Baptiste and her team. She's a great person. We actually during our team meeting, she was there and just full of laughs, full of giggles, you guys.
You need
really,
that.
really warm. And
You want a
honestly,
dentist
most
that you can
people are like,
relate
I don't want to go
to.
to a dentist. She's a very approachable person. So with that being said, unfortunately, we're not going to say goodbye, but we're going to say till next time.
See you later.
See you later.
Or see you soon.
See you soon.
Because they can.
They can next Monday.
Or they can see us if they subscribe.
Come on, because if you subscribe, because that's what you're going to do, you can subscribe to see our show on all major platforms, including iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Stitcher. Please review our show. Give us some good feedback. Share a Facebook Live post, and look the entire show with your family and friends. The only way that you can do that is if you subscribe, so make sure that you do. Of course, please donate. This is some good ground, y'all. Some great things are happening with the Sphere, and we went from small space to a really big space, and it's
So what
because
does
of
that
people
mean?
like you.
What does that mean? We trying to do something
We are
special.
moving on up. Come through.
And we're not even on the east side.
And we're not even on the east side. Seriously, we're on the
still-
south side.
South Seal for Lil.
So make sure that you donate, you guys, on www.thesphere.tv/donate. We absolutely love you. Have an amazing day, and hopefully we'll see you soon. Take care.
I love this next story. I when I found it, I wanted to just like high five whoever wrote it. I happen to read Bloomberg Business Week because that's the type of person I am. Because I believe you should read more than one type of literature. And there's a book that's out that says the big reasons why whites are richer than blacks in America. This debunks every myth that has been said about at the African American community versus the Caucasian community.
I'm eager.
Oh, girl. The first thing in the table of contents says, attending college does not close the racial wealth gap.
Now, but we've talked about that offline so many times.
Right. This is number one. Number two, raising children in a two-parent household does not close the racial wealth gap. Number three, working full-time does not close the racial wealth gap.
That's all the stuff that they said.
Number four, spending less does not close the racial wealth gap. All of the things that we have been told, even from our
is
own,
the color of our skin.
right? Even from our own, persons that we know have told us about why it is that we're not as wealthy, as successful. It's all a lie. I think a lot of it has to do with positioning, opportunity, and who you know.
Yeah.
Especially when you think about what generational wealth is. We talk about how far ahead you have to start and how far a jump they had. Different races, and Caucasian race specifically, a jump that they had that the African Americans just did not have.
Yeah.
So they already started ahead of the line. So I don't want to say that education is not important. I don't want to say that having two parents in a home is not important. I'm not saying any of that, but what I am saying is relegating your success on your parents or if you go to school or not is not a determining factor of if you're actually going to be able to attain the type of wealth and success that you feel like is marked for you has nothing to do with that. I think it was important that that this article came out specifically because I think the article says specifically that the result is that the whites' wealth advantage and blacks' disadvantages gets passed down from generation to generation. I think that's one of the most important things, generational wealth, which is that goes back to so many things. And I think it's incumbent upon us, those who are here right now, to think about generational wealth and what we can do to not only just get our kids ahead, but think about our kids' kids. Yeah. That doesn't mean deprive your children of anything to get them ahead, but that also means like think about how you can position yourself to get your kids ahead. What do you think about that?
I agree. I love that this article was published because this must be like the season of truth in America because so much stuff is coming out. You know what I mean? And I think that it's important. And we talked about this a couple of shows ago about how to really talk to your children and the words to speak and the type of environment that you want to create for children. And this actually goes to it, whether you come from a one-parent home, educated or not. It has nothing to do with it. It literally starts with the mindset.
And another thing I thought was interesting about this article that they point out, which I thought was amazing, the author says that in 2012, for example, Wells Fargo and company paid at least $175 million to settle allegations that it steered thousands of blacks and Latino borrowers into subprime mortgages when non-Hispanic white borrowers with similar credit profiles received prime loans. So those subprime mortgages were the ones that ballooned, bubbled, and burst, right? Yeah. And we all went into this housing market crash like 2008, and we had one years before that as well. But it was because of those type of loans you wound up creating the cycle. Yeah. And what they were saying was there were the similar persons from the Caucasian background that had similar credit ratings that got better advantages toward the loan, so they were able to get more, buy more house, get more, more options. Let me say buy more house, but get more options, and was able to indefinitely keep the house that they had because they didn't have a loan that was going to explode on them, right? So you look at it from that, perspective. But one thing the author did say is that although they settled, Wells Fargo never admitted to doing any wrongdoing.
Of course not.
And so we have
to let me not say of course not. Y'all know what I mean.
And so what they're saying in this book is there has been a racial surtax put on persons of color that we have to come out of generational. So I think that's something important to just kind of think about. So we're going to try to overcome this racial surtax and to climb over this generational wealth gap.
And you start by knowledge, by actually knowing that there is one, right? So good stuff to know, guys, to take it and move forward, right?
Absolutely. Now we're back to Washington. So back in Washington, Trump lashed out on a Republican senator at that. His name was Senator Corker. He was upset with Corker. He wanted Corker to do some things. Corker didn't kind of moved to the beat of his own drum. And they went to this Twitter war because it would be Twitter, right? Corker responded with saying that the White House is an adult daycare center.
I think that's hilarious.
I know you would think that would be hilarious.
That's absolutely hilarious.
I mean, well, we're in a different time right now where we're seeing stuff we've never seen before. We have never seen some of the things we're seeing right now happen in politics and government. I think, and especially, I have to go back to this. We're thankful that we live in the age of social media. Yeah. And all this, a lot of transparency, although some of it is too much at times. But it makes it so that you can see the movements of people, and it forces them, they can't hide behind anything anymore, right? So anytime you say anything, it becomes public knowledge, especially when you are in that office, especially when it's so much division going on. So and I feel like it's interesting for a GOP representative to say that he thought that the White House was an adult daycare center.
That's hilarious.
I thought it was interesting that somebody would actually say that.
But I mean, out of all the different administrations, I think this has been one it's been quite a lot of different activities.
Absolutely.
Activities, and we're just going to leave that one there.
Activities.
That's the best word I can come up with at this point.
I mean, I think Emmett Smith, you know who Emmett Smith is?
Yes,
the former football player Emmett Smith, he kind of said it best. He was like, how is it that Cam Newton is held to a higher standard than President Trump?
Louise.
How is it? How is this possible? Now, if you don't know, Cam Newton last week was in an interview after a game, and a reporter who happened to be a woman asked him about his routes. And his response was pretty much, it's funny to have a female asking you questions like that. Well, I understood what he was trying to say because, the norm is that you don't talk routes to women because women don't play football, I guess. But she is a journalist, a reporter. She's a sports reporter. Yeah. And so, but immediately she took offense to it. Yeah. Because of the offense, he actually wound up losing his endorsement with Dan Orko's yoga, that yogurt company, the other one. And because of that, it became a matter of controversy because they somebody dug up the fact that she has had a lot of tweets or Facebook posts where she was calling persons the N-word. And
I didn't hear that.
Oh, no, that was what made it interesting. And so she came back and said, I apologize. That was a long time ago, whatever. But that didn't get him back his endorsement. And that went to my question, well, how is it that we live in a time where we have become more sensitive about one thing over another thing? They're equally important. They're equally disrespectful, I guess, depending on who's looking at it. But she had a long list of posts that she posted that talked about the N-word. So... But after this thing happened and somebody pulled those posts, she apologized for it. Of course, she didn't lose her job. She didn't lose any endorsements. She didn't have any. But it was interesting to see how that played out because it got kind of swept under the rug because of this conversation. So Emmitt Smith said, I wonder how he's being treated and held to a different standard than Trump, because Trump is the same man that said he grabs women by the vagina. When he was on the campaign trail, they found the tape of him saying that, and he still became the commander-in-chief. Thoughts?
So y'all know I like to go back and I like to do things, kind of break it down a little bit for the people. So we're talking about a layered event because I know there may be some viewers that are like, wait a minute, Cam Newton and President Trump, all of that and the female reporter, they're all isolated events. So this is one of those layered things because it goes deep. You're talking about sexism. You're talking about racism. You're talking about classism. All of this is shown beautifully in this whole scenario. Absolutely. So number one, I'm going to shout out Emmitt Smith because people are now having the conversation that they would have normally never in the cameras. No. Because back in the day, let's be real, racism wasn't brought to the forefront. Sexism wasn't brought to the forefront until endorsers and people start pulling stuff away. Then it start getting a whole new level of attention because people were like, oh, wait, so you support them or you support him or you support her, whatever the case may be.
The power of the consumer.
The power of the consumer. So and you sit down and you think about that. I would say that number one, the whole situation with Cam Newton, you guys, I'm not like a complete sports head. I could understand why the female reporter may have taken some offense, but I've watched the clip a couple of times, and he seems like, again, I don't know how many female reporters there are, but it didn't seem
malicious to me.
It didn't seem like it was like, this
it was
female,
more like
it was more like, man, this is weird. Like I'm
weird. I'm
talking
not used to that.
And so I can get it for she be like, well, hey, well, look, this is my profession. I take this very seriously, and I get it. I really, really do. But it got to the point where endorsers are pulling away, talking about, well, we don't support that. Well, that's not what Cam Newton's doing. And then there was an article that talked about this, a tweet that was like the same person that wants equality evidently doesn't want it for sex for women. I was like, yo,
that's not what was happening.
What do they call that? What's this? That's not a free throw. That's called a reach. That is a huge reach. He apologized for that.
And I think it was, like I said, I think it was totally misinterpretation because I can see that's like me, you and I having this show, right? And somehow, or doing a woman's event, right? Uh-huh. And someone interviews us afterwards and asks us about, do we often plan our, a female something that's germane to just us being in the lane of being female speakers, and this is what we do. And I'll probably be very surprised to know that they even knew about it. Like, well, how do you know that we, like, is that, like with lashes? Oh, so is that like if it was a man asking, so is that a strip or individual? You'd be like, I'm not used to a guy asking a question like that. I would hope that they wouldn't take that to mean that I was trying to say that I'm not for equality, because if you're into lashes.
But in this society,
better example, is that dipping powder or gel on your nails? I'm not used to because
that you're not used to that.
That's not used to. I'm not used to a guy being that specific about something that generally it's not something you see men do, right? You don't usually see. So I didn't take it as offensive. I probably wouldn't have taken it as offensive because I wouldn't have read that much into it. But
Yeah.
I understand where we are right now in America. Everything is a potential hot topic. Everything is a potential hot topic, from the car you drive to the nails you have on.
What color you have on.
Everything. And it becomes like this minefield. We're in a minefield right now.
So, Kira, you must have like hopped in my mind and did like a walk around because when you were talking, I was like, you know what? If all this protest wasn't going on right now with all of these athletes taking a knee, I'm wondering if some of the comments that were said wouldn't be taken so extreme.
I think I'm gonna go with
I think that now people are like, I'm over the strike. I'm over the protest. Let's get the attention off that. Natural disaster, boom, protests are still happening. People literally losing their lives, boom, protests are still happening. It's like, man, but I hate to say it, there's these people that are still taking a knee.
Yeah, I'm like, because it's a serious matter, and I really don't think it's gonna take more than a natural disaster, some threats, other things happening around the world to prevent these people from taking, because
it's still an issue.
Because it's still an issue. I mean, and it's not, again, I'm not trying to, I understand, I'll be honest with you, I understand why some people don't get it. Because if you've never been in that person's skin, you wouldn't get it. So I totally get it. I don't fault anybody from not. I'm going to go ahead and say that.
Because we've met people that literally have no clue.
I do not fault those who just do not understand the purpose of taking a knee because you have never been on this side of it. I'm a woman, but I've never been a black male, but I have a black husband.
Yeah.
And so I understand it from that perspective, you know, and I get it if you've never been in a position to be concerned about the welfare of someone when you know that they're a good person and they're driving down the street. I totally get it. But the neat thing, y'all, I don't think it's going to go away. And so we just need to buckle up tight and start listening to the conversation from a different perspective, you know, and like you said, unfortunately for this situation, I hate that, like you said, I think that this stuff is being escalated because of everything. Because like you said, that tweet just said something about it
was a female that tweeted and was like, so you're taking a knee for injustice, but you're a sexist. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this as a woman, as a black woman. I was like, no.
Yeah, that was a reach.
That was a reach,
That
honey.
was a reach.
That was a reach.
That definitely was a reach. Now let's talk about this. So apparently a CBS reporter said that Kaepernick was willing to stand for the national anthem now, but he actually had to backtrack because he said, I never actually got that information for Kaepernick. Kaepernick responded and was like, it's funny how a lie will make it halfway around a lie will make it all the way around the world, but the truth will seldom get there. Pretty much he was quoting something. Yeah. And I thought it was interesting because I'm like, why would a reporter, this is the power of media.
Yeah.
If a reporter plants a seed like that to say that someone said, like Kaepernick said, that he was willing to stand, will that actually shift the conversation to make more people stand? I think, it's the power of media. If I can plant that lie and get people to believe.
People ready for this to be over, friend.
Know, friend.
They are so, people are like, wait, you're protesting? Yeah. Still? Yeah.
So, like, you still at the store? Ain't they closed?
Like, yeah.
like I'm at the store. I'm that person at the store at 11:59 p.m. to get the Black Friday sale for midnight. Like,
exactly.
You still there?
Yeah. Like, it's one of those
I believe
things.
I'm going to get this sale,
so
and I'm going to wait.
I'm
going to stay. I'm going to stay put because I know that breakthrough is coming.
And so I think that, we talk about this time and time again, but y'all, it's real. And
people are feeling it on all sides.
People are feeling it on all sides.
I mean, it's drudging up so much controversy, even in Atlanta, right?
Man,
so in Atlanta,
and I love Houston.
I know you love Houston, but they changed their menu on us.
They did.
So even in Atlanta, so we have T.I. and Tiny. They went to hold a major protest against Houston's restaurants in Atlanta because their friends went there and they were rejected a certain type of service that they were expecting. And the response was crazy because it was a bunch of people in front of Houston's, a bunch of people. And I'm sure that, let's be clear about this. T.I. and Tiny, although they are on the fairer side of the African American community, they're definitely persons with a lot of voice.
Yes, and pull and
pull.
Yeah, they really are.
And so, I really want to just encourage business owners in general, at large, in general. Just tell your employees to just be fair to everybody. If we don't live in a time where I think people have the option to say that we're not going to take you as a client, or I mean as a customer. I don't think we're there.
Would you put on it?
I don't think we're there anymore. I don't think we're not at the place where you tell people that they can't sit at the counter, the bar.
I
don't
think there's some restaurants that wish they could still do that.
I know, but you can't. Yeah. We don't have a person's only bathroom, a person's only fountain. Like, we're past that time.
Yeah.
All money is green, right? And it spends equally.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's incumbent that we just treat everybody fairly, and we won't have these things because they have a right to peacefully protest.
Yes.
And so they didn't do anything to disturb the peace. Thank God.
Yeah. It was a peaceful.
It was peaceful. Now this is funny to me. On the flip of that, in Dallas, okay, so there was a Robert E. Lee monument in Dallas that had been up forever, and the people of Dallas like, it's time for this sucker to come down. They finally brought it down. Confederate supporters were really pissed off about it. They were upset. But what happened was that people were like, well, we want Erykah Badu's statue to go up because she's actually been here forever and she employs locally persons and she's this person. Now, I would never think to put a statue of Erykah Badu up. But people in Dallas love her and they are wanting her statue up. Allison wants a statue of herself up in front of the building, in front of the new business that we have, but we're not going to let her put a statue of herself up because I feel like she needed to build this from the ground up before she can put her statue and her name on it.
I love Erykah Badu, and I know a lot of people are followers of Erykah Badu as a person, and I think that everybody's entitled to their own opinion. A statue. She's got albums.
She does have
and
albums.
She has awards.
She does have awards.
So, yeah.
Well,
we're just going to say a clap for yet another monument coming down. We're making progress, guys. So
and we take note of progress.
We take note of progress.
Yep. But Auntie Maxine is in the house.
Through.
Auntie Maxine said, hey, if y'all want me, I'll do it. So Auntie Maxine says, hey, I will run for president in 2020.
Want me, honey.
And millennials want me. Now, who wants to see Auntie Maxine do it for the people?
Y'all mess around and Auntie Maxine will come around and get actually hired for the job.
She will get hired for the job. All the votes. All of them. 2020. Can y'all see Auntie Maxine as the commander-in-chief? I'm trying to picture myself as President Waters. That just sounds like gangster.
Man.
President Waters. That's some deep stuff right there.
Some deep stuff.
I would love, I can't say that. I don't know if it would be her, but I know she also said that she also would be behind someone that is for the people. So
she would. So she wasn't just trying to push her own campaign. So FYI for those people.
Yeah, so I'm glad that she's like, either way, I'm for whoever's for the people. We just want people to be done right by. So this portion of our show is sponsored by The Sphere.
Whoop, whoop.
You better know we're sponsored by The Sphere. Are you starting your business and looking for a place to advertise? Do you have a need to reach out to thousands of people across the world to build your brand or sell your product? If so, get your product placement and advertising needs handled right here at The Sphere. We offer a wide variety of content delivery platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher. Plus, we have a vast demographic reach within the United States as well as our modern countries across the globe. Our enriched content and inspiring dialogue, coupled with your strategic ad, is surely to hit the mark every time. Call us today at area code 832-772-7789. Again, the number is 832-772-7789, or send an email over to advertise@thesphere.tv. Again, that's advertise@thesphere.tv. Yay.
I feel like it needed to be like a sound effect. Bing.
Bing.
No.
But it didn't happen.
Great. Are we doing Mike?
No. No. Sorry. Next time, ladies. Next
time.
Okay. So,
Go ahead.
This is a hot week.
Man.
We told y'all it was a hot one.
Hence why we had all the celebratory things at the beginning. So, because we didn't want to be that show, right? That is like the Debbie Downer. Y'all, it's been a lot that's been happening. So, Texas prosecutor who calls 2 African-American colleagues the N-word will not resign. So
he tried it. He tried it because he said it did not happen in public, it happened in private. And so, therefore, it doesn't count.
So what's the problem?
I'm
What's the
sorry.
problem?
I'm sorry.
Like, hey, I didn't say it while I was, out in public. I said it behind closed doors, which makes it right.
It's a private communication, so therefore it's protected. If we could, I understand the logic behind it, so I understand where he's going with that.
Like,
right?
I'm not publicly racist.
I understand the logic behind that. My issue with that, the thought process is that if we're going to apply that, I think everybody should apply that.
Yeah.
I think everyone should say, hey, I didn't say that out loud, or I didn't say that.
Yeah.
So it doesn't count. But that's not how it works. And so there has to be some fairness, right? We have to be fair across the board about how we apply this.
I just said potato.
She wants a potato stuffed to the max. She's so crazy. But no, seriously though. And so at this point we're in a different time in a country, in society, that we have to now, the laws, I think this is going to be like when they started talking about, I think we talked about this briefly before, gerrymandering.
Mm-hmm.
But this is going to be like how we're in the season where I feel like the laws are going to be redrawn to what is actually included in a law, which makes the law so interesting, because laws are usually broadly drafted to be inclusive of everything, but now it's going to start becoming very narrow, because now we have to start calling out specific things, which is going to create problems down the line.
Which is what I was getting ready to say. Like, I know right now the law has so many gaps, if you will, so many openings. And so when it gets to the point where it's like a straight just specific things, y'all, people are going to find some type of loopholes.
I just, I don't know. I feel different about a lot of things in this state, that my life right now. And when I think about, I don't know, I don't know how we got here. Maybe we were always here and I just didn't see it. Maybe I was not woke yet, y'all. I don't know.
It always happened. Just social media. It's just so in your face now.
It's always been
there. It's always been there, but I think, again, it's constantly in your face.
Yeah.
And it's play by play.
Yeah.
Before it was like, did you hear that? And it happened a month ago.
Yeah.
Then news got a little better. Then it's like, wait, that happened a week ago.
Well, I feel like we keep hearing the same thing over and over again, because it just happened again. Like,
but again, it happened before.
Yeah. If you did it before, it happened again. Okay. Moving on to something that is interesting. It's an interesting topic of discussion amongst a lot of families that are blended.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so there is an entertainer. Her name is Sierra. She married a football player. His name is Russell Wilson. When they were dating, Sierra already had a child with a rapper. Okay.
Future, for those of you who don't know.
And they are not together. They weren't together. They were actually engaged at one point, but it didn't happen, right? Future and Sierra, it didn't happen. So she wound up dating another guy, and now her and this guy are actually married. While she was dating him, Sierra would bring her son around the guy all the time, and he was very fatherly, appropriately such, but fatherly. And I think people tried to create a problem with the fact that this man was in his life.
Big time, early on,
but it didn't work. They wound up getting married anyway. Well, over the weekend, Sierra's son was, I guess heard calling Russell Wilson, Papa, and calling his actual father by his stage name Future. Now, I personally, I don't know if I have a problem with it. I don't think I really do, and I'm gonna tell you why. I had my dad remarried someone who when I first was, when I was younger, they weren't married, they were just dating, and she was a really nice lady. And they were always together. In the back of my mind, I knew he was going to marry her. And so she became a mommy figure to me when I was not home. And I was like splitting half time, like the whole summers I would be with my dad and all the winter break. So she became my mom. So I didn't have a problem with calling that. It felt very comfortable. It felt very okay. I started hearing when I was younger, I don't remember around what age, but people was like, oh my God, you can't say that around your mom. Like you, and I'm like, what? In my head, I was like, why are people making it a big deal? It's almost like people want it to be division, right? Yeah. You shouldn't do that because that's disrespectful. I'm like, it doesn't make my mom any less my mom, but this person is stepping in as a mother figure, and eventually she stepped in, right? Step parent, right? Step in when my mom was not around, not because she was a bad parent, just because she wasn't physically where I was at times. I think this is another way to create drama. Future is a person that has this is not an indication of what type of person he is, but he does have more than one child. And I don't necessarily know if he requires his kids to call him by his first name, but he may feel more comfortable calling his dad Future because him and his dad have the same name. They do, because he's named after his dad. So I don't necessarily know if I'll be upset if, because he may feel, clearly he feels more close to him because he's around him more.
So I'm going to say it was a slow news day. And the reason why I'm going to say it was a slow news day, because this is something where you can put your 2 cents in, but every family dynamic is different. So you don't know what situation, what communication is happening behind closed doors. Your situation was like, hey, I felt very comfortable, and it worked with our dynamic until other people start saying, well, why are you calling her? It's like, well, wait, because I'm almost certain, your father probably would have been like, well, no, don't call her that, or some dialogue would have been, would have happened to you, or you would have, and I think that when this whole situation, I'm like, y'all, like, he calls his father Future. I'm sure maybe one day he calls him Future, one day he calls him father, but evidently he's seeing him. Future's involved in his life, and evidently he seems like he's in a great home.
And I think when it comes down to it, I think that's what you have to start looking at. Like, is his life being diminished in any way?
Exactly.
By
like,
him
let's look
having
at the bigger picture here,
2
guys.
father figures. Like, is that a diminishment?
Is that a bad quality?
And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's a blessing to have another person take care of your child as if they're their own, as if it's their own child. Publicly. And I'm not just doing it just to win the other parent over. So I think that's a blessing.
Yeah.
Another crazy news story. It's not crazy, but it was a slow news day. Obviously, people were so interested in the fact, OJ got released last week, and apparently, like, later on in the week, he was in his nice new house in Las Vegas, and he was playing golf, not bothering anybody. Everybody like, oh, OJ got the good life. This is the juice, y'all. What did y'all think he was gonna go live in a slumber shack? Like,
and I must say, let's go back. I think people got, let's be real. OJ had money before he went in. Y'all acting like he lived in a shack. Money. And let's be clear, he almost had an old money mentality. He saved, he invested, and I think y'all think that just because somebody go to jail, they money go to jail with.
Oh well, no. The thing was, remember at one point people was pissed because they were like, well, why does he still get his pension? And I'm like, because he earned that money,
and he's alive. He's like, what do you mean? He is alive.
I'm like, that's
regardless of whatever the court said he did or whatever, what he went to jail for.
He earned that money.
He earned that money, and I think people are like, he's alive and he's doing well.
I'm like, well, that's. I mean, when I went to law school, they told me that the purpose of law, one purpose of jailing someone or imprisoning someone is to deter and rehabilitate. I'm gonna guess that this man is being rehabilitated because he's out. He ain't bothering. He really isn't bothering anybody. He's trying to live as normal as possible life. So just let this man live.
OJ been through enough.
Like y'all.
He got a movie. He on Jay-Z album. Like y'all, just let
this
him
man
go.
Live.
Let him live.
Let him live. Let him live.
He got kids.
Yeah, he got a lot of stuff. Other things going on.
Y'all got too much stuff going on. Than talking about some OJ.
Yeah, OJ is not the hot topic.
He is not. This is not newsworthy.
It's not. And I just wanted to draw y'all attention to the fact that y'all got to come up with some content. Like, this is not news. People.
Like, out of everything to pull on the news, y'all, what we talking about?
This is not news.
OJ.
OJ.
But no offense to OJ Simpson.
No, because you're the juice. And that's crazy. Anyways, so I don't know if y'all know who this person is. Let's talk about, her name is Zuri Hall. And Zuri Hall is actually a TV host. And this is something I did not know. She, I didn't know that for the Emmy Awards, somebody actually has to pay to nominate you. Someone pays a fee.
I did not know that.
Right. Somebody pays a fee to be able to put your name as a nominee for the Emmys. So Zuri Hall, who is a young
hustle.
Right, Zuri Hall, this your application fee. You would attach that check or money order right there.
Like who knew that?
I didn't know until I read this. All right, so she's I believe she's a host of like some E Network shows or something. I'm not quite sure all the shows she hosts, but she said, E News. She said that she was broke, but she was willing to bet on herself. She took her last money and submitted her own name.
Did they say how much it cost?
You know what? I didn't read that part.
It's okay. It's okay.
But the thing is, she won.
I'm sure it's not $10.
Nah. Because if that was the case, everybody
be nominated.
Nobody has money like that.
Like, how many? Do you want these in ones or 2 5s?
Right. But she nominated herself and she won. So she
Shout
won
out.
an Emmy. So I think it's good to bet on yourself. I think, I know we haven't talked about this many times on this show, but, you know, a lot of persons, especially persons who are struggling with money issues, they are very risk averse, meaning they're not willing to take risks with their money, especially investing in yourself. Investing in yourself goes beyond getting your hair done, your nails and all that stuff, which are good, I think, for women, for men both. You know, taking care of yourself, massages, whatever. You might not be able to do it every month, but maybe every quarter. But there's also something good about taking risk like this. I find myself in the season I am right now that I'm taking a lot of risk. I'm like, I'm willing to roll the dice on myself. Because I'm like,
it's good.
You got to get to a point in your life like you're willing to bet. If nobody else,
if ain't nobody gonna bet on you,
I gotta bet on me.
It's like the old school. We would always say, if you can't love yourself, nobody else can.
Nobody
if you're not gonna bet on
you.
yourself, nobody else will. At least ultimately.
Because check this out. Nobody was gonna nominate her because she was a newbie.
But she did it,
but
and now
she
look.
did it, and she won, and it's killing it.
That's
so
good.
Shout out to Zuri Hall.
We'll do a hand clap, man. We just
shout
love
out
it.
to you.
Absolutely.
Congrats. Because you bet on yourself when you won.
It's some good stuff.
Now I could go down this list. We're not gonna go down this whole list about what not racist people say.
Yeah, because it's just a lot.
But the one thing I want to encourage people that say that they're not racist to stop saying is that how many friends you have, who you went to school with, and stuff like that. Like, I think the best way to just show that you're not racist is to just not be racist. I don't necessarily think you feel like you should have to qualify that. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it's just me. I don't know. I don't really know too many people in our generation that have a legitimate gripe or bone to pick with somebody from a different ethnic background. No. I think that's what makes it such shocking and chilling for us, because it's kind of like, why do you not like me? Because I think you're kind of cool. Like, I think you're cool. You know what I mean? I don't. And this actually wasn't specific to any race. It just said not racist be like. It was like a hashtag, right?
Yeah.
So we just want to encourage everybody, not white, not black,
like
everybody,
like all colors of the rainbow. So we don't want to forget the purples, the blues, everybody.
Don't say, you're not racist by qualifying how many people of color that you know or not color yet like, don't do that. Like, just be. You know what I mean? And learn to love people based upon genuine relationship building, but don't say you not like, just don't do it, because it just sounds weird. It doesn't sound authentic. It doesn't sound genuine. It doesn't come across loving. It just doesn't. I'm sorry. And I hate to end like this.
No, it's good. I think that this was good.
I was saying I hate to end about this march last night, a couple nights ago. Did you know about that?
No, let's go.
You sure?
Yeah.
Because if you don't want to, we don't have to. Because we're gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
Girl, no, it's okay. So let me tell you what happened. There was another march in Charlottesville.
Yeah, I can't.
Now this is what I don't want to end on, which is the not racist, but the thing about this march that made it interesting, is which one reporter pointed out, he said that he was shocked that the second march was considered a peaceful protest, which is not the shock, because nobody got hurt, thank God. But they were actually called activists. And the reporter said that he was shocked that media actually bought into this activism. And so this goes back to, how do we qualify what's activism and what are we acting against? So I think that my thought for this is quite simple. I've gotten to a place where even, and this is so funny, even looking at this and how disgusted I should be, I have so much sympathy, because I'm trying to figure out at what point you decide that this has to stop.
Yeah.
Because you're promoting something that promotes violence and anger and hatred. So our thought is, as supporters of freedom, equality, diversity, and a peaceful world, we just want everybody to come together as one and just love each other.
Y'all, it's simple equation. Just love. So, of course, we hate to end on the somber note, but we tried to start it off with a bang. Red cupping it, celebrating for the Sphere. non-alcoholic. We absolutely love you guys. Have a great, great night. Don't forget to subscribe. You can on all major platforms, on Google Play, Stitcher. You can see it on the screen. SoundCloud, all of those informations. And if not, you can definitely follow us on social media. There we go, on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, and Stitcher. So we appreciate you guys so much. We love you, and we will see you next time. Have an amazing, amazing day.
This is my friend, Allison Bullock, and you can follow her
on Instagram at Miranda Inc.
And my name is The Modern Day Cindy, and you can follow me on Instagram as well.
Take care, guys. We love you.